Welcome to the first episode of the MyTeam career mode, and we're getting straight into the things with the headquarters press conference with Will Buxton.
Hello folks, and welcome to this, a very special edition of Paddock Pass. As you can see, there's no pit lane behind me, and as you can hear, no roar of engines, and that's because they've set me free from the F1 paddock to escape here to the countryside and to the headquarters of Formula One's newest team. Now, it's not every day we get to pull back the curtain and look behind the scenes at an F1 team. Rarer still that we get to talk not only to the team owner, but also the team's lead driver. But what makes this place extra special is that the owner and lead driver are one and the same person. Now, it's been an interesting 12 months, and we all know a number of the regulation changes which were due to come into effect this year have been delayed until next. Some, though, are still seeing the light of day, amongst them the all-important budget cap, which gives some of the smaller teams a little further down the order, potentially, the opportunity to compete with the bigger teams. Good for them, but great for us as viewers. But what does our new team owner think about these new rules? Do they see them as a challenge, a hurdle that needs to be overcome? Perhaps they see them as an opportunity to disrupt the status quo, a chance to come out swinging and to carve their name into Formula One history. Well, I had the opportunity to ask them these very questions just earlier today, and here's what they had to say. Well, first of all, thanks so much for inviting us here today. It's been wonderful to see behind the scenes. As you might expect, I've got about 1 million questions, so let's jump straight in. It's been a long time since we last saw a team owner take their own car onto the track, and the sport's changed enormously in the intervening years. How are you going to handle the responsibilities of both managing and driving for a Formula One team?
So we're just going to go quickly into this and choose one of these options, which will be just "This isn't about me."
Let's talk about your teammate. Now, it's clear they're excited to have signed with you, but tell me, what is it that you think they bring to the team?
So a tough one here. Well, not very tough one, but we're going to quickly choose. We did choose Longard for our driver, and he did pretty well in F2 last time, so we've seen lots of potential.
So you've obviously been putting a lot of work into the car. I know it's early days, but how do you expect it to feel out there?
So our first chassis or durability option here, we did pick SimData. Looks good.
Most of the other teams can boast years of experience in Formula One. Where do you see the opportunities to make those vital performance gains you need to put you within reach of the other cars?
Another one of these. So we've got the powertrain, durability, aero, and chassis upgrades in this question. And fuel loads, I think, is going to be the big part of our, car. So I did choose fuel loads.
Ultimately, your success this season is going to come down to whether you can take positions from the other drivers. What is it about your car that's going to give you that edge in those battles?
So another one. We did go with. I thought about it, and chassis would be a big thing we need to start off with as well. So we did go with we developed an incredibly light car. This helps with top speed and through corners. I think that's a big thing we need to do to start us off.
And finally, with so many specialist departments working together here at your headquarters, and with such an important deadline coming up, who's getting that coveted Teacher's Gold Star? Which group do you feel the most proud of right now?
So this is a big one. This is going to be the one what finalised and the biggest upgrades within the team. And we picked durability, and I didn't realise about this, so a bit of a mistake there, I reckon. We could have went with aerodynamics.
Well, thank you so much for your time. Been wonderful to get an insight from you and, of course, to see around the headquarters. Thank you for today. Really appreciate it. And thank you all at home for watching as well. We'll see you very soon.
As here we are at the main quarters. We're going to take a look, and we're going to take a look at the car livery. But you see, durability, not too good there. We did upgrade everything to the first. We could have done that to aerodynamics, though. So a disappointment, but we could fight for about good positions in the races. As we go to the car livery, I decided to go with a bit of green and yellow and blue as our sponsors, just for a bit of Australian colours in there. We can't change the grey though. Bit of a disappointment with that, but I think it does look like a very solid car ready to do some well in races.
The Formula One.
So FP1 has finished. We did come 12th, which is a very good result for us starting off. We did start with the hards, just learn the track a bit. I think that was a 30. I think it was a 32.1. If I'm correct, it might be a 31.9. Don't know too much, but a very good result for us on mediums. We did beat a couple of other drivers, but our main objective is just beat Alfa Romeo and all that. They were on softs, and they were about a couple of 100th quicker up than us. As you see there, we smashed Mazepin and our teammate, and the Williams struggled there. As we move into FP2 now. And Hamilton did top this one off of Verstappen and Perez. Lando Norris on pretty good speeds, and Bottas all the way down at 10th, but he was on the mediums. And again, Alfa Romeo were on the softs as their fastest lap. We were on a soft, so a little bit slow, but I didn't really get. I think this is the fuel test we did, so that's a reason why. And this is during FP3. We didn't get to finish the track customization, as we did have a crash. I don't know what happened through there, which is a little bit of a spin. So as the FP3 finished, Verstappen was on top, Hamilton second, Perez, so it's very, very tight at the top there. We did finish 18th on the softs, though. As we go into this resource points, we do have 2.3k. And we got some upgrades spending down as well, so that's good with our. We could have done it much more better though, if we didn't crash, because I did purple, it was all good. But here, as you see, a bit disappointing, because as I said, we lost quite a bit of reduce in points in certain aspects of parts. But as you see there, we're still on 1. It's our claim, but as we move into qualifying now, did have a bit of troubles. Second lap didn't do well. This is our first lap as well, as we go down that main straight. We're all in the clear as well, so that's a good thing. Starting a lap here. So this is our best lap, and this is at the start of the race, start of the qualifying. As we're coming into this first corner, I'm not happy with this lap as well, so we can find a bit more time in this lap. As we come through the DRS, we did go a bit wide, and entry was a little bit slower than usual. As this was pretty solid, couldn't really find too much time, but this is a bit of a slowdown for here. It was a nice sector at least. As we come through here, we did way go wide there. Didn't hit the apex properly, and we're coming up to the slopes part of the corner, slopes corner of the track, should I say. And we're coming down the back straight, hit the DRS flying down this straight as Fernando Alonso sets a fastest lap. But coming into, we brake. We didn't hit the apex too, but it wasn't too far out, but we would have lost a bit of time as we're coming through this sweeping right-hander. Got onto the curb. Want to get the perfect exit as we hit the power into third gear, into fourth, into fifth, into sixth, flying down the last straight, hitting the last apex possible on this track. As we do, we just clip the curb and we fly out with full acceleration, hit the DRS, the finish line is right there as we cross over, and we did at 129.466. So yeah, this is the back of it. We were doing pretty well actually, by 100th of a second, looking like we definitely would have possibly got into the next qualifying, but we couldn't, as you see here, just a bit late on the throttle, but it was actually better. We were picking up time, but the final corner didn't do us justice. As you see here, bits too slow and just didn't have the power traction to come out of there to get the faster delta time. So yeah, we come in the line. I think we've qualified P18, I'm pretty sure. So yeah, here we go. We did qualify P18 with a 129.466. Lungard in 19, so good result for us. So hopefully we can do this.
Months of rumour and speculation all come to an end today as we return to racing for the opening event of what promises to be an enthralling season. Welcome along then to round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We'll be racing around 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit today. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left down into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. A new season then, a clean slate where anything could happen. Anthony Davidson is with me today as we get another year of Formula One underway.
We're into those tense few minutes before the first race then. Everyone's a little bit nervous about reliability. They haven't been running in the hot, turbulent wake of other cars in practice, and they've not been pushing at 100% for long durations. Let's hope no one has to deal with any nasty surprises.
Before we begin, let's take a quick look at the grid lineup for today's race. Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole position and Max Verstappen lines up alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Bottas, Perez, Lando Norris and Ricciardo, Leclerc, Sainz, Vettel and Lance Stroll, Fernando Alonso, Gasly, Esteban Ocon and Tsunoda, Raikkonen, Mick Schumacher, Antonio Giovinazzi and Ace, Lundgaard, Russell, Mazepin and Nicholas Latifi. And with preparations almost complete, let's head down to the track.
So here we are in our car at the Bahrain Grand Prix race, and checking out the race strategy here. It says a 7.7 for both tyres, lap distance. I don't think that, because you see here, the mediums are probably going to be around 40% when they finish, so I think we're going to come in at lap 6 and put on the mediums. Then it just has a bit of a good difference. It looks like the sauce might last that around 50% as well, so I think it could be a good decision. We go to 16 laps of fuel as well. Here we are for the formation lap, and I'm going to skip this formation lap in the video as we go into the race. There's 5 red lights and we're underway. It's a good start from us, but we just acceleration a bit out, but we are going to be fighting with our teammate coming into the first corner. We almost hit Giovinazzi there. And slow into the first corner we go. We just let our teammate go. We don't want to interfere with him at all. As we come right out behind Latifi, we almost hit him. And now Mazepin's going to move in front of us. We're going to duck in the outside. We're going to try to use our inside. I think that was Lundgaard also having a lock up there. As we're behind Mazepin coming through. Hit the curb too far there, and we're going on into the inside of Mazepin. As we're just holding around the outside, we do well. We're right behind Lundgaard now, and Schumacher has lost quite a bit of time already to the Alfa Romeos. He might have damage. He might have front wing damage here, so Lundgaard, can he put the pressure onto Schumacher here? Hopefully he can. He just can't get too close as we are looking down the inside. Moving on, a good pass there to move on the inside as we take 17th spot and chase these Alfa Romeos. which are 2.2 and 2.7 away. As we move on to lap 4, we up to the back of them now. Do have the pace. It looks Giovinazzi's holding Raikkonen a bit up as coming down to the front stretch here. Out in lap 5, we're too far away to really make a move, but we're going to take this corner and set us up to the next straight. Hit this apex and right along this curb, and now we're using DRS and ARS. We're going to drive ourselves up. We can't get close enough still to Raikkonen coming through the S's, and hopefully we can have a little bit of a peak down at the back stretch here. Not swip back move there. Just trying to do an undercut there on Raikkonen. Couldn't find any traction. Now down to the back stretch. We will have DRS coming through here. We're just too far away again. We are setting greens though, so we do still have the pace behind them. We're just not getting enough traction out of these corners, not taking them properly as well, because we are behind him too much. It's now coming back through the back straight here. As Raikkonen, we are quite near Raikkonen now. Down into the final corner. If we can get a good exit here, we just missed the apex and we're going to hit the curb, and it's going to compromise our exit here. Using DRS, we won't have a shot coming down this straight. We're going to go in the pit. This is our pit box open window now. It's Giovinazzi holding up Raikkonen, and we get a little bit of a snap there through that, trying to transition to the second turn. As now that has really hurt us coming through to this corner, turn 4 I think it is, as we're still trying to hold on the back of Raikkonen, as we're just a little bit loose, bit understeer happening as well. Raikkonen locks up, pretty big lock up there, and we get another huge slide as we now fast forward through this lap onto lap 6 here. This is when we're obviously going to be in the pits. We're going to duck into the pits here. Don't think Giovinazzi's going in, and so is Raikkonen. They're staying out, so we've got to make this undercut work. Hopefully our team does well. Verstappen and Hamilton and Vettel maybe. Looks like a couple of teams have definitely sorted this bit out here. Stroll and Leclerc, and we do a 3 second pit stop. Mazepin, Russell switches places, could they? They've all gone meters, as now lap 7 further into this race. We're flying down this front stretch. We're going to see Raikkonen come out around here. There's Raikkonen. Are we going to have enough? We're going to brake late. We're going to try to get a perfect line and exit out of this corner, as we do side by side through to the turn 2, turn 3 now. And we are in front of Raikkonen, and Lundgaard's 4 seconds away, so I don't think he'll be catching up to us at all throughout this race. I think he can hold off now from Mazepin and the 2 Williams, as we set a green lap there for us, and we're going to hopefully keep Raikkonen behind us for this whole next section. Obviously the back stretch, he's got cold tyres on as well, so it's going to be a little bit tough for him to really catch up, but we really run deep into the corner, which is very important. As you can see now, he's starting to drag it in the mirrors. And you look, he's diving on into the inside. There's his tyre, as there's his front wing as well, and we just get the outside line working, and he's still there. We're side by side. He just pulls out, coming around that sweeping right hand corner. Now hit this, get a nice exit out. I think Giovinazzi is into the pits as well, so this is going to be deciding our race. Will we be in front and control the pace, or will we be behind Giovinazzi? And Giovinazzi's probably coming at the pit exit any time.
The gap to the car ahead is 20.1 seconds.
There's Giovinazzi. We're going to overtake him, and we just run wide, just give him enough space, and we do. And Raikkonen and Giovinazzi are now fighting behind us here, as you see, and they are already down to 1 second away. So we've got a good chance here to really sprint. And now we go to lap 11. So Giovinazzi, I think he pitted at lap 8, so we had good controlled,
We're leading our teammate by
good controlled speed. As now here comes Giovinazzi flying down the outside onto lap 12, as we can't dive it up or anything. So I'll decide to go on the outside. As we do, we get a bit of snap again of oversteer. Down turn 3, we've got the exit with the DRS and ERS. We can now push to try to overtake. There's Raikkonen on the outside, so we go around the outside, and it looks like Raikkonen couldn't get it. And there's Giovinazzi. We're fighting it out to this SS, and we do take position. Giovinazzi does get out of the way, trying to just slide in behind us here. And now Raikkonen, hopefully he can put some pressure on Giovinazzi, but I'm not too sure about that, because Giovinazzi is only 200th of a second behind us. Really close down this stretch. We're all toe pretty much front to back coming through that last corner, well, the corner to this back stretch, as we comfortably hold Giovinazzi behind us. Now sweeping right down to the final stretch, into the final apex after this, and we move on to back stretch here into the final corner. We've got to take these corners the best we can now. It's going to be deciding where we finish, 15th or 17th or 16th, because now if you look in the middle of the map, Lundgaard is right behind us, but we try to look in the mirrors. I'm looking in the mirrors. Raikkonen and Giovinazzi are not near us to dive on us on lap 13. But now into turn 4, what will happen? Giovinazzi behind, as you see. We've got good temperatures in our tyres, you know, not overheating, so we are comfortably doing all right. Our engine and that looking okay as well. As here we are down to the going to the final lap now. As a pretty big gap. Raikkonen's about 1.2 away from us, and Giovinazzi's only 5. But that can really shrink up to this final lap. Now, there's Giovinazzi. We go defending on the inside, and I really can't think about it, because our outside has been pretty speedy for us. But now coming down to turn 4, our final turn 4 of this race, as now Giovinazzi, Raikkonen behind us. We move to the outside again. Raikkonen is trying to behind us, and now Giovinazzi pulls out, and Raikkonen overtakes Giovinazzi.
Okay,
So we hold Giovinazzi, and now we've got the pressure of the 41-year-old Raikkonen. There's Lundgaard there, as you saw behind us. He is now on the back of Giulio, so hopefully he can overtake him for possible 17th, possible 16th if he can get past Raikkonen as well. But we've got a good gap. Valtteri Bottas takes victory, and Perez, and it looks like a McLaren also takes 3rd place in the first race. So Raikkonen's right there on the outside. There we go. Through now. Bang tyres. No one's done a punch-up. We got a bit loose. And now Raikkonen has taken the position. P15, now we're P16. Couldn't do it because I didn't really want to spin out there. Now we've got the run out of him. We're wiggling everywhere into this corner. We've got the apex, the curb hits a Raikkonen, and that's a yellow. Giovinazzi's out. Lundgaard has got 17th, and we finish in 15th with no warning. I don't think we touched Raikkonen.
That's it for another Grand Prix and a fantastic win for Mercedes. Anthony Davidson, a resounding victory today. What set them apart from the rest?
Well, they certainly stood out as a driver with tons of confidence on the track. I think their ability to keep their cool, even during some of the more hectic parts of the race, meant they were able to capitalise on the mistakes of other drivers, giving them the opportunity to make their way to the top spot with ease.
So after a magnificent race, we can now see the drivers making their way to the podium. Once again, it's the Silver Arrows who take top spot, a well-earned victory for Mercedes. So let's review the updated drivers' standings. Valtteri Bottas passes his rival to take over the lead of the Drivers' Championship. Some amazing talent out on the track today, but Anthony, who would you pick as your driver of the day?
It's got to be Valtteri Bottas, a commanding performance that I think had the audience's eyes glued to him for the majority of the race.
It's time to see how things are shaping up in the Constructors' Championship. Mercedes move to the top of the table. I'm equal parts exhausted and elated with this weekend of Formula One. Be sure to join us for the next one.
So here we are for the race results. Valtteri Bottas, Perez and Lando Norris gets the podium positions. Lewis Hamilton and Verstappen both drop from 1 and 2 to 4 or 5. I think that early pit stops for them didn't really work out. We came 15th, Longard came 17th, Giovinazzi came 18th before he pulled over to the side. In that, Giovinazzi and George Russell, Latifi, Mazepin and Schumacher, after that first damage he might have hit someone. Maybe if we can go into the standings now, we'll find out. Bottas did get the fastest lap of the race. And we go to the constructors, we consolidate 8th position, which is the biggest thing so far in this constructors championship. We are 8th best car. We've got to hold that 8th place down. But if we go to the race director here, looks pretty. A couple of hard people, and Schumacher did make collision to Raikkonen on the first lap, so that's what happened. So this is the Giovinazzi crash. We see here we're going side by side. I hit the curb, push Raikkonen out. Giovinazzi just runs into him. Raikkonen didn't really get a run out of there, and that cost him. Let's take a look at what happened to Mick Schumacher at the start of the race. So this is Mick Schumacher. As we see here, dust everywhere. It does touch the Alfa Romeo. Raikkonen just moves in on him. Kinda, but this racing incident there. But yeah, that will be the end of the episode. If you did enjoy it, go ahead, hit that like button, and if you want to keep up the series and channel, hit the subscribe button. Catch you everyone later.